Nancy arrives to the jail to talk to Barry, and it's a showdown. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box as well as the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, before I get started with this review, let me send a special shout out to the GMHC crew, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative. If you are in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to us at the GMHC crew for a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call us at the GMHC crew and make a same-day appointment and actually come to our location to pick one up. Also, if you're interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention, reach out to us at the GMAC crew for that as well. Also, if you are a fan of KRSTV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, check out my Patreon today. Black Diamonds, because in darkness, we still shine. For $5 a month, you get all of my YouTube content, as well as videos specifically for the Black Diamonds that will not appear on YouTube. So, sign up for my Patreon today. Also, check out my YouTube partner, BK World Tube, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like The Haves and the Have-Nots and RuPaul's Drag Race. So after you watch this review, check that link in my description box and comment section to check out BK World Tube today. Now, this is the Oval Season 1, Episode 18, and the name of this episode is Me and You. I am so happy to finally, do the reviews for this show. I mean, because I watched it when it aired, but at the time I was ill. But I'm just so happy to finally get these reviews out because I am a huge fan of The Oval and I can't wait for Season 2. So, let me begin. The episode picked up where it left off. Victoria and Hunter are in bed. She dropped her grandmother's earrings, goes to pick it up, and she has all this blood on her. And then Hunter tries to dismiss it. Oh, I spilled red wine. And she's like, do you think I'm stupid? I'm like, yeah, because Hunter's dumb as hell. So all of a sudden she pushes him out the bed and she moves the mattress and see that there's like a big pile of blood that they were literally sleeping under. And then all of a sudden Hunter was like, I thought you did it. And she's like, what? Really? And then he was like, well, I think I might have killed her. We were doing drugs and I got lightheaded. And she's like, well, how did you do it? And then you see that sword, like one of the sword up there, I guess. And he showed her that one of the swords is missing. So as I said, you find the sword, you'll find the killer. And then she asked, does anybody know about this? And she says, Kyle and Donald. And I'm sorry, Hunter tells her Kyle and Donald know about it. And she's like, oh, great. They're about to make you their damn slave. And she's like, I'll be down at the Lincoln bedroom. So that was the end of that. Then we get into Donald and Kyle. Donald is tearing Kyle up in that bed, honey. He is aggressive. It's S&M. It's everything. Because Kyle likes it rough. Because Kyle's crazy as all hell. And he actually, Hunter actually calls Kyle and asks him to come, to see him immediately. And then, Donald's like, what do you want? He's like, well, whatever it is, he can wait. He's like, no, you need to go see what he wants. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, what about Lily? And he's like, oh, damn, my radio's off. And then all of a sudden, Donald goes into panic mode. That DL shit. You all up in it. And then all of a sudden, you gotta go. Leave. Get out. Does all that crap. Kyle goes downstairs to see Lily sitting there. And then, of course, since Kyle is a sociopath and he doesn't give a shit, he starts talking real slick to Lily like, yeah, it's a good thing you came back. You made a smart choice. You know. And then all of a sudden Lily's like, you are a sociopath. You don't know pain. He was like, I know pain. I know good pain. And that's what was going on upstairs. And she pretty much says, get out. And he's like, look, I'm just going to keep it real. And it is what it is. I hate you, bitch. I'm like, for real, bruh? Like, you really hate Lily for everything. And it's just crazy that, like, Kyle, this is a female and you being that damn aggressive. Like, you are a straight, simple bitch. Like, for real. And then he was like, yeah, I hate you, bitch, and he will always love me. I'm like, oh my God. I was just chuckling like, Kyle is pathetic. So then finally Donald comes downstairs and him and Lily go back and forth. She was saying that I was literally sitting here listening to you and him, trying not to be judgmental, you know, and not only that, I'm listening to you and him in the bed that we chose. I was trying to be open-minded, trying to see you as a human being. For some odd reason, you know, you can't be who you truly are. But then I heard you moaning and him panting. The more disgusted I became, and all I feel for you now is contempt. You ruined my life. I'm like, yeah, he did. He literally led you in with false pretenses. You thought you was getting a whole marriage and you realized you were part of a Gestapo operation pretty much. And she says, I'm moving in the guest room and you are not to come in there for any reason and don't talk to me. So that was the end of that. I was like, yeah, Lily. Yeah, Donald got you in a whole web of shit. But Donald doing that shit because he's trying to become the next president. So as I say, he had an agenda the entire time. So then we get this scene with Sharon and Kareem. They, you know, he finally got the store boarded up, and there's some dudes that are outside, and he's like, I think I should stay because, you know, these dudes are looking to steal something and all that shit. So he pretty much saying that, you know, I'm not leaving, and pretty much, you know, they go back and forth, and Sharon's like, it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. It's both of your fault. If y'all went up in there banging up in that store, Barry wouldn't have did what he did. And now, it doesn't excuse Barry for doing that, because Barry could have handled that a lot differently, but he's already emotionally distraught because he lost his daughter, and then come to see his girlfriend screwing another man, he lost it. So you both are at fault for this. And him like, oh, it's not your fault. Shut up, bitch. It's your fault too. Both of y'all guilty. But then she says, okay, I'll stay with you. He's like, no, you can. She's like, look, it's too late to go to my sister's and I don't have a home to go to. Yeah, because Barry put your ass out because you was doing too much. I mean, of course, he was fucked up for doing that, you know, putting her out, because by that time she didn't do anything. But quiet as it may, you literally went right into Kareem's trap, and there you are. So, and then all of a sudden, you know, they decide to stay, and then Kareem being all smug, like, yeah, y'all come up in my store, y'all getting shot. I'm like, oh, so you just trigger happy, ain't you, fool? So so as I admitted, yeah, he tried to kill Barry. And it's like Sharon ain't seeing that shit. Anyway, so therefore we get a scene with Hunter and Kyle. They're in the Oval. Kyle finally shows up, and Hunter flips the hell out because he's like, my wife knows. She dropped the earring. And pretty much Kyle is like, we got this under control. There's nothing to worry about. It's contained. Oh, that damn Hunter with his old sensitive ass, he literally threw a vase at damn Kyle. It's like, what the hell you mean? You know, there's a fucking bloody mattress. Why the fuck would you leave that there? He was like, look, by the time the cameras were back on, your family was back, I didn't have enough time to move the mattress, you know, and I was planning on doing that today. And then he pretty much said that, do you have my back, Cal? And Cal was like, yeah, I have your entire back. I'm like, see, Cal, you gonna stop playing with those fucking slick shit before you get your ass beat. Because Hunter looked like he could probably take Cal's ass. And then all of a sudden, he was like, can I walk you to your room, sir? He's like, to the bloody mattress. And then he picked up this little statue, and he says that, you know, the statue is bronze. It's gonna hurt. So pretty much, the first lady is sleeping down the hall, and he's gonna sleep in the Oval. And then once he left, he threw the damn statue. So I'm like, Hunter's mad as hell because the whole thing was that he was trying to prevent Victoria from finding this shit out, and now Victoria done found out everything. She now knows that. I mean, because she found out that Denise is dead, but now she knows that Denise was killed in her bedroom. So then we get a scene with Nancy, Richard, and Sam. He had major surgery. And Sam says that he saw Barry and everything. And then, you know, Nancy, what's going on with that boy? I'm not saying no more. If y'all been watching my reviews, you already know how I feel about that shit. And then finally, Priscilla shows up because she went to go get coffee. Priscilla and Sam leave. And then pretty much, you know, Nancy and Richard talk, and she pretty much tells him, like, you need to get better, and once you do, you know, you definitely need to have a talk with your son. And that was the end of that. Then we get another scene with Donald and Kyle. Kyle lets him know that he's losing it, and that the first lady found the blood stains, and then, like, Donald's like, you know, just wait till morning, you know, because she does this shit all the time. One minute she'll cause a scene and get all out of control, and then the next day she acts like nothing happened. You know, so I'm like, yeah, because Victoria's psychotic. The whole damn family is psychotic. And then pretty much he was like, and then he was like, you know, are you gonna, you know, and he's like, I can manage him. I got this. And then Kyle was like, well, what about your situation? You talking about you can manage him. How about your own life? He's like, she came back, didn't she? And then he tells Kyle, don't talk to her. And he's like, fine, I won't. And he's like, don't come over here anymore. And he's like, so you mean to tell me I can't see you no more? He says, no, it means don't come over back here no more. I'm like, y'all, Kyle and Donald are some freaks. So then we get a scene with Priscilla and Sam. They're in the car talking, and she's saying seeing Richard there reminded her of when Sam was in the military. You know, seeing Richard just took her back to that, and she was always worried whether he was going to come, that whether he would be, you know, dead or alive and all that. And then while she's in the car, she gets cold, and she takes Sam's jacket, and she's like, why does your jacket smell like perfume? And I'm like, Victoria's leaving her scent everywhere. So I was like, yep. I'm like, she's letting it be known that she's on to your man. So you better watch it. You better watch out, Priscilla, because that old heifer in heat is after Sam. So then we see the next morning, one of the aides sees Hunter sleeping in the Oval. And then after he leaves, she goes off on SS like, why didn't you tell me he was in there? I'm like, we guard outside the door. We don't know what's going on there. And she's like, oh, I hope I don't lose my job and all of that. And then we see Victoria talking to one of aides, and she rude as hell. She's pretty much says, make sure no one goes into our bedroom. And she's like, is there a particular reason? She's like, privacy. And I need a new mattress and everything. And she's like, and stop asking so many damn questions. Just do what I say. I'm like, damn. And then Hunter shows up, and they both go back and forth with their normal banter where they be tearing each other down. And then pretty much she's like, you look like hell. And she's like, well, hello to you too, dear. Like, and then she asks, did you talk to your son? And he's like, yeah. And she was like, you know, he needs to stop jacking off in public. He gets that sick shit from you. And then he's like, well, let me go to the shower and probably jack off. I was like, the two of them are a mess. Like, it's just crazy as hell. So finally at the hospital, you know, before, like, I forgot to mention when Nancy and Richard, when Nancy and Sam and Priscilla was there, Richard was still unconscious, and now Richard has now waken up after the surgery, and he immediately asks, "Where's Barry?" And she pretty much tries to dismiss it or whatever, but eventually she tells him that he's in jail. Richard is ready to get up and go out of there to actually go see Barry at the jail. You know, Richard's a soldier, so it's just like a scratch to him, even though he got shot. You know, and she's like, "No, you just got shot," and he pretty much recollects that, man, he was just so mad, he just ran the car through the place. It's like he went blank, and I'm saying, if he saw Ruth the night that they were talking about, he probably would have killed her. You know, the way he was, like, something is wrong. It's like, it must have been something he saw that made him do that. I'm like, yeah. And you're going to find that out soon enough. And pretty much, she pretty much says that, you know, he's in that jail. He can't talk to anyone. You know, and he asks Nancy, go see him. She's like, no, I'm not leaving your side. He's like, either you go or I'm going. I am a soldier. I will leave this bed. You know I will. So she's like, fine, I'll go see him. So pretty much the next morning, you know, Donald and Lily are, you know, waking up with Folgers in their cup. And he's like, good morning. And she's like, is it? You know, he's like, where you going? He's like, she's like, I'm going to my shop. And she's like, he's like, don't you want to meet? He's like, do you want to meet for lunch later? And she's like, well, why? He's like, because it's what we need to do. She's like, fine, go to work. Like, Lily is just over the whole situation. And she calls Bobby on the burner phone, and then Bobby's like, don't ever do this again. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, by not calling me. I'm like, Bobby is in love with Lily. Lily gave him that flower, and he is just smelling roses in May, bitch. Like, he just got lilies in May, and he is literally smitten with Lily, and it's so obvious. And he's like, you know, I want to see you. And she's like, okay, I might come by. And then he was like, you know, do you have any more intel about the situation? And she pretty much tells him, like, look, I don't trust you, but all I know is what I told you. And he's like, look, I know you don't trust me, but you will. I'm like, yeah, bitch, you ain't got no other allies at this point, so you might as well let that go. And let go and let Bobby. Alright, so finally at the White House, the new mattress arrives. And pretty much Hunter comes in and is like, what the hell is this? And Victoria's like, I'm cleaning up your damn mess. And she said, he's like, I told you Kyle had it. He's like, I told you Kyle had it handled. And she's like, are you serious? Didn't I tell you that there's a mole in here leaking everything to my parents? So she pretty much says, work this out. And he's like, you expect me to clean this up? And she's like, yeah. You know, I came up with the idea. You need to execute it, and I ain't helping your ass. Figure it out and dispose of this mattress. This is your mess. Clean it up. I'm like, I'm here for Victoria with this shit because Hunter was such a horny bastard. He got off having his mistress in the White House in the bed that he shares with his wife, and it turned into a whole bloody mess. So I was here for Victoria telling him, yeah, you need to change the mattress, you need to do this shit yourself, and you know, you created this mess, now clean up the mess. So then we see Nancy goes down to the station. She talks to Detective Jake. She lets him know she wants to see her son, and he's like, sure, and you can use my office. Like, he's really giving them a lot of treatment because he's cool with Sam. And he lets her know that we're looking out for your son, but we can't let him out. And she's like, well, we wouldn't want our son to get away if he did something wrong. You know, we would want him to, you know, pay the price for the wrong that he's done. I'm like, damn, Nancy, you just want to send your son to the damn clinger. Like, what the fuck? So then we get this scene between Barry and Nancy, and she pretty much says that he asks about his father, and she says he's okay, but he has a broken heart. You have broken his heart. And I'm like, that ain't nothing Richard said. That's all. That's how you feel, honey. Trying to say that you broke Richard's heart. No, that's how you feel, Nancy. You know, Richard is concerned about him because he know that when Barry did that, something must have happened for Barry to do that, because that just wasn't natural for Barry to do. I think the only one who's really getting Barry's craziness is his father. And then she's like, could you please... And Barry was like, could you please tell him I'm sorry? And she's like, are you? I'm like, what the fuck, Nancy? Why do you have such this vicious like attitude towards your son? I don't get it. And then she's like, why the hell did you do that? Do you know you could have killed him and yourself? And he's like, I lost it. Like, and he said, she's like, what would make you do that you would put your life at risk as well as your father? And he tells that he saw Sharon and Kareem having sex. So then she goes, tell me the truth. Did you kill Ruth? And all of a sudden, you know, she kept pressing it on and on until the point he was like, yes, I killed her. Yeah, I killed her. I killed her. I was like, but I was just telling myself, he ain't killed no damn Ruth. I mean, because we know he was with Richard at the time when Ruth supposedly got killed. So it's just like, I think he did that shit because he's getting tired of Nancy and her bullshit, and also because of the fact that Nancy don't believe his ass anyway. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, get down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. This show is getting better and better per episode. So until next time, everybody, take care.